Hey peeps, welcome back to Hypo HO, Speed Tips and More for the Average Joe. And in this video, we're going to begin the build of the Tyco 440X2. Some of you guys saw the video I posted up of this car that I just built. And that's what I'm going to show you how to build. So, before we begin, we want to accumulate the parts that we need. And there's a couple of areas that we need to address before we actually begin any building. And I'm also going to show you how to die your chassis. So, here's the list of parts that you need, and I'll be more than happy to send that to you guys. All you need to do is just subscribe to my channel. Go ahead, comment, and put a like on there, and I can email that list to you, and that'll get you going. Alright, so we've got the wide pan here that we're going to be building. And then we have a narrow that we're going to be building. Now before we begin the dyeing process, what we're going to want to do here is we're just going to want to shave the bottom of the chassis a little bit. Just want to remove some of the flash. There's a couple of little nibs. We want to make it nice, flat, smooth. So I showed you in the previous video these scraps from Home Depot, Pergo, nice stuff, free. It's nice and flat. Some 180 or 220 sandpaper, and usually I'll tape this down on here. And we're going to go ahead with the bulkheads installed after the car is stripped if you're using a existing car. And we're going to hold both fingers on there, thumb back there, even pressure, and we're just going to go around in circles like this a little bit at a time, checking our work. And again, all you want to do is just, you'll see there's a couple of nibs here, 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 and here. We just want to remove those nibs. So I did that already on that chassis. I did it on the other one. The other thing you're going to want to do is polish up your brush barrels, like I showed you in the previous Oscar video. And you're also going to want to polish up your armatures. So once you get those things done, we're going to be ready to dye the chassis. And very simple process. A lot of guys make it like it's rocket science and voodoo magic. Nothing to it. Nothing to it, guys. Get yourself a coffee can, all right? Or whatever you want to use. It's better if it has a little height. Get yourself some dye. I use the liquid. You can use the powdered if you like. A pencil. Some wire. And what you're going to do is you're going to fill this with hot water up to about here or here. And I usually just will pop 2 splashes in here. Usually 1, 2, like that. You'll see once it, you know, if you want it a little dark or what, it's not critical. Then you're just going to need some sea salt coarse. Take a cup like this. I usually put about half, somewhere around there. Pour it in. Bring it all to a nice boil. All right, once it's boiling, bring it down to a simmer. So just below boiling, simmering. You're then going to set the height of the chassis right below the water line. And it's simple. You're just going to take your stick, your pencil, whatever you're using, tie the wire, set it in there like that. Once it's simmering, you're going to let it simmer for about 20 minutes. After that, you turn it off. Then you go ahead and let it sit till it cools down. After it cools down, you're going to wash it in some cold water. You're going to take a look at it, and if you like the way it looks, you're good to go. One thing I do is, like I described in the other videos, is the denatured alcohol. I'm going to clean everything prior to assembly. You don't like the way it looks, you can do it again. It might get a little bit darker. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dye these chassis up, and then we can begin the build. Alright guys, we'll come back at you. Hey peeps, just wanted to show you real quick. Here's what we're looking at. So I had it boiling, these babies are going. You can see it's just simmering. And you can hear. And I'm going to leave this for about 20 minutes. Now hopefully you have a great wife like I do, who lets you use her stove to cook your chassis while she's cooking dinner. Alright, we'll come back at you once we get this all done. Okay guys, finished the dyeing process, and so here's what we have on that gray chassis. Now I did green, and if you're not happy with the color, you can do it again a little bit longer. I think this is pretty cool, so I'm going to leave it. I mean, the main thing is to really just relieve the stresses in the chassis, harden it up a little bit. Now this one was a black chassis. I think the black chassis are a little different plastic, and they really don't take the dye. I see somewhat of it. So there you have it guys, that's how you dye your chassis. That's what we have right there. So now you know how it's done. No black magic, no voodoo, no nothing. Easy peasy. Now one other thing that I thought I'd mention is this car that I'm doing the narrow, I'm building up a little bit different, a little more mild. Gonna be doing this Lexan Camaro body, and I want it to be more of like a pro stocker slash muscle car. So this one, using some aluminum wheels, some of the AJ's aluminum wheels. This would be geared more towards if you want to use like a stock body or something, but going to be using the HC Slots Tyco 3.5 arm in this one. Now this one, which is basically this one I used the HC Slots dynamically balanced 2.9 arm for the Tyco. You can also use this Cherry Bomb. Even though it says it's for a G3, it can still be used in this car. The only issue you may have is the front part here at the bulkhead, and typically I would recommend running ball bearings in it, which I may or may not do. We'll see how it goes, but that's going to be for another video. I'm going to show you how to install ball bearings in the bulkhead. So this can be run, it's really not an issue, but if you want to make the same exact car here, and you'll see I have all the arms that you can use on the sheet here that you'll get if you sign up on the website, on my YouTube channel, and subscribe and comment. So this one here, like I said, has that dynamically balanced 2.9 arm in it. Alright guys, so that wraps up part one. We've got all our parts prepped, we've got our chassis dyed, and after this we're going to be moving forward with the build, and that will be the next video, the beginning of the build. Alright, peace out, and I'll catch you guys later.